So this is a story about how I bought my Miata, and can I just say that I drove that car for 10 years and I adored that car. But there's sort of an interesting story about how I ended up buying it. So several years ago, I was moving from Chicago out to Southern California. And when I got out to Southern California, I realized I didn't really know anybody. I knew people at work, but that was pretty much about it. And on the weekends, everybody goes out of town. I mean, there is no one around. And even for holidays, it's even worse. So anyway, the first holiday I have is Memorial Day weekend, and it's just miserable because there's no one around. So I thought, you know what? My Toyota Corolla, my trusty Toyota from Chicago, it has over 100,000 miles. It's maybe time for me to go look at a car. So I decide, I was thinking about those Miatas because when I was back in Chicago, they had this really cute commercial for Miatas that just made you feel great just to watch it. So I thought, I'll go look at the Mazda dealership and look at those cute Miatas. So I drove over to the dealership and I'm out wandering around looking out in the parking lot. And there out in the lot, I see the most beautiful Miata. It's red with a black top. And it's sitting out in the middle of all of these cars that are parked out on the lot. So you can just barely make your way over to take a look at the car. So I'm standing over the car and I'm looking at it and I'm just falling in love with this car. And the dealer shows up behind me and he goes, and I see you like that car. And I said, yeah, I'm sort of liking this car. And he goes, well, you need to get inside and see what it's like to sit inside it. And I thought, well, sure, I need to. So I got inside the car and I'm sitting there and it just fits great and it just feels wonderful and I'm thinking, this is such a fabulous car. But then I realized, I have actually never bought a new car. I've always bought used cars and always by myself. And of course I'm by myself today. And I need to be smart about what I'm doing and I know that I should be asking for a test drive. So I say, I'd really like to test drive this car. And he said, not possible, actually, because it's buried in amongst all these cars, and I'll never be able to get all these cars moved so you can get the car out. But really, there's no reason to test drive it, because these cars pretty much sell themselves. And I'm sitting there thinking, wow. I said, no, I would really like to test drive it. And he said, well, I tell you what, you could come back tomorrow, and I could have it available for you to test drive. He said, that's assuming we still have the car. Because there's no telling. I mean, these cars are selling like hotcakes. I thought, back in Chicago, actually, they are selling like hotcakes. And I had heard stories about long lines of people who were waiting on a list for these cars. I didn't really want to risk having no car be available. So I thought I have to act on this. So I said, all right, I'll go ahead and buy this car. And I'm sure he's thinking, wow, I guess I can really find somebody here that I can sell to. So anyway, I'm a little nervous, but pretty excited that I'm buying my first brand new car. So he goes, well, if you're going to have a new car like this, a really beautiful new car like this, you need a state-of-the-art alarm to protect it. And I said, I do, and I'm thinking, yes, I do. I need a state-of-the-art alarm. I've always used this club thing with my Toyota, but this is a brand new car. And he goes, I've got just the thing for you. Come with me. So I follow him, and he walks into the showroom, and he's got this convertible sitting there out on the main floor. And he goes, this car has a state-of-the-art alarm that I want to put in your car. I said, really? And he goes, yes, it's a talking alarm. And I said, a talking alarm? And he goes, yeah, it's great because alarms, everyone's used to hearing alarms, and nobody pays any attention because you hear it so often. He goes, but a talking alarm, that'll get people's attention. And that's the way to protect your asset. And I'm thinking, that's what I need, a state-of-the-art talking alarm to protect my asset because it's the first brand new car I've ever owned. So I said, I'll buy the state-of-the-art alarm system. And he goes, excellent. So he writes up the ticket for it, and he goes, we'll install it right now. So I wait for the car to have the alarm installed, and then I'm out and I'm driving, and I'm just loving the car. I'm driving around, it corners like it's on rails. It's the most beautiful thing. So I go back to my apartment, which I live on the third floor of this 3-story building, and the parking lot is underneath, right? So I go back and I park and I go up and I have a nice dinner and then I go to bed, and I wake up in the middle of the night and there are cops outside, and I can hear this cop going, stand back, they're too close to the vehicle, please stand back or the alarm will sound. Thank you. And I'm thinking, wow, that's kind of weird for a cop to say that. And I thought, that's no cop, that's my car, someone is messing with my car. So I throw on my robe and my slippers and I ran downstairs to the parking garage to find out who is messing with my car. My car is parked in the back corner because I didn't want anybody messing with it. And someone is parked next to it, and it clearly parked too close. So my car is just chattering away down there in the parking garage. Stand back, you are too close to the vehicle. Please stand back or the alarm will sound. Thank you. Stand back. And I thought, oh my God. The sensitivity is too sensitive. I can't believe they gave me an alarm that's going to talk to any car that's parked next to it. I'll take it back. So the next day I took it back to the dealership and I said, you need to adjust the sensitivity a little bit because it's talking to everything. And they said, oh, that's okay, that's pretty common, we'll fix it for you. So anyway, they fix it, and of course they, fix it as best as they can, I'm assuming. So I drive off, and I'm excited to finally have my car back, and I take it to the grocery store, and I'm in there, and I'm shopping, and I come back out, and there was a huge crowd standing around where my car was. And I thought, what's going on? And I go running up to the crowd, and in the middle of the crowd, I can hear my car going, stand back, you are too close to the vehicle, please stand back or the alarm will sound. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I've been tampered with! And I thought, oh my God. And then people would take a step back and it would say, thank you. And then they would step in forward and they're out there touching it. And it's like, stand back, you are too close to the vehicle. And it goes through its whole rigmarole again and everyone is laughing. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is not what I had expected. So the next day I take it back to the dealer and I said, are you sure that the state of the alarm is what I should be having? Because I'm thinking it's attracting more attention it's really not a deterrent. He goes, oh yes. You just got to roll with it a little bit more. So I said, all right, I'll roll with it. So a couple of weeks later, I'm coming out of this building, and again, there's crowds standing around, and it's going through its whole thing again. And I thought, that's it. I'm done. So I take it back to the dealer, and I said, this is not working for me. I need you to disconnect it. And he goes, are you sure? And I said, yes, I'm sure. And he goes, because it'll cost you. And I said, just disconnect it, all right? So they disconnected it, and I take it back, and I'm now using the club, which I had used on my old Toyota. But at least it works, and it doesn't talk. So after a couple of weeks, I come out to my car after work, and I'll be darned if it's not chattering away with the car next to it. I thought, how can that be? I had the alarm disconnected. So I take it back to the dealer and I said, I don't know what you did, but you clearly didn't disconnect it because it's out there chatting her away. And he goes, oh, that's impossible. And I said, I beg to differ. It's out there talking. And we walked out, and sure enough, it was out there talking away. He goes, all right, I'll do it again. I'll disconnect it. And it'll cost you a little. And I said, I don't care. Just get it disconnected. I don't want to hear it anymore. So I went back the next day, and he had it disconnected, and it drove fine for a couple of months, and then after a couple of months, it came on again. So he finally, after that last time he looked at it, he says, okay, here's the deal. We've disconnected as much as we can, but there's some light that keeps on coming on. I said, are you sure it's not going to talk to me again? And he goes, no, it's not going to talk again. I can guarantee you that, but I don't know why this light keeps coming on. I said, because I'm telling you, if you can't get it reprogrammed, then, what I wanted to say, if it won't stop talking, is, you look beautiful today, or how was your day, or something productive like that, instead of, I've been tampered with. And he assured me, it will never talk again. And he was right, it never talked again, but that light was on for the next 8 years of the 10 years. So, anyway, it did drive like a dream, and I adored that car. aside from the little light that came on all the time. And that's the story about how I bought my Miata. Thanks.